In this lesson, we'll create an AV component for our room. So I'm going to just start with a simple box. So I'll go ahead and drag that out onto the floor here, kind of a very rough manner. We'll go ahead and just move this over and into a kind of a general position underneath the television here. I'm going to go ahead and drop that down a bit. There we go. And now I'm going to go ahead and select that. And now let's go ahead and shape this a little bit. Now I've got the divisions I have are 4x6x3, so you want to have a little bit of a resolution in here at this point. To deform this, I'm going to go ahead and add a freeform deformer. Okay, and I'll go to the control points. Let's go ahead and grab these on the side, pull these forward a bit. Okay, let's go ahead and grab these, and let's go ahead and scale these up along the Z, give it an interesting little shape there, until you get kind of something along those lines. Alright, and so let's go ahead and now collapse that into an editable mesh, and then we'll convert that to an editable poly. Okay, and now you can see if we smooth this, you can see what that's going to look like. So it's pretty smooth, and we don't necessarily to be quite that smooth. So let's go ahead and add some resolution here. So on this end, we'll go ahead and select that ring. Go ahead and add a one segment using connect right across the side there. And then we'll do the same thing over here. Select that ring and connect. And this time, instead of 75, we'll go ahead and do -75. Okay. We'll say OK to that. And now we want to create this kind of a piece that comes across and it's kind of molded in here. So to do that, I'm going to go ahead and take some of these points here and just move these over. Okay, so I'm going to go local and just kind of move that one over and do the same thing over here. Just kind of move this one over and up, just to create kind of more of a curved shape in here. Okay, I'll do the same thing on this side. All right. So now what we need to do is add some resolution basically along that edge. Okay. What we can do is just select those polygons rather than selecting the actual edge. Go ahead and select those maybe all the way back here. Now let's select these down the back a little ways as well. Okay. And so let's go ahead and now do an inset. And we'll just give that a very small inset amount. Okay, so something kind of like that. Got 330 seconds there. You can even dial that down a bit more if you want to. Okay, let's go ahead and apply that and do one more of those. Okay, and let's do that one more time. All right, so there we go. And now what we can do is select these edges. Okay, select two of these edges, select the loop. That's going to be those two interior loops. Okay, we'll go ahead and shift click on the polygon to convert that. And now let's go ahead and extrude that in along local normal. Take that extrusion height way down, something a very small amount and in the negative direction. I'll apply that and do it one more time. Okay, now let's go ahead and take these vertices here. We've got kind of three lines here. I'll go ahead and take these, and along the view, we'll just kind of move these up a little bit. If you want to do that, give it a little bit more shape. Okay, so now when we smooth this, you can see you get something that's a little bit more sleek. Something kind of like that. And you could leave the curvature in there if you want to as well. Okay, if you want to add a kind of a button in here, okay, you need to have the kind of resolution in here that you're going to need. So let's go ahead and add maybe one line right in here, kind of right in here. We'll go ahead and add a line right in the middle. So we use connect with zeros everywhere except for the segments, which we want to be 1. Okay, let's go ahead and do the same thing over here to make sure that the hardness of the edges stay the same. So we'll go ahead and connect that right in the middle there. Okay, and now we need some geometry to be able to pull that button from. So I'm going to go ahead and grab these faces here. And we'll go ahead and do an inset. And we'll increase that amount quite a bit. Okay, until we get kind of something like this. Let's go ahead and we'll say OK to that. Let's clean this up a little bit by moving this point around. And I'm going to do that along the local reference coordinate here. Okay, and just give this kind of a square shape. Let's go ahead and kind of move this up so that it's a little bit more even. And just something like that. Pull this point over here and just kind of make a kind of a square out of it. Okay, we'll do the same thing over here. Just kind of make sure that that's all even, because it's going to want to follow the line of whatever's on that side of it. Okay, go ahead and pull that in. So just something like that. Now we'll go ahead and grab those polygons. Okay, do another inset. Okay, very slight amount. And now let's go ahead and push this in. So we'll extrude that a very small amount in. Okay, go ahead and apply that, and this time we'll pull it out a little ways. Apply that again. Create a small extrude there, and then we'll do an inset to create the kind of the hardness on the top there. And so now when we go ahead and smooth this, we should get kind of a button right there that we can press. And that maybe is a little bit too big, and it maybe is sticking out a little bit too high. So what we can do is go back and select the polygons. Okay, so let's go back and now grow the selection until it encompasses basically all the way up to there. Now let's go ahead and scale this down a bit. Okay, so that's something a bit smaller. Let's go ahead and take the vertices if we want to maybe make this a little bit less of a square. Okay, we'll go ahead and just kind of pull that up, pull this down, and we can kind of pull this over, and it'll give you a little bit more of an oval shape. Let me undo that. And so now when we smooth this out, you'll get something a little bit different. And again, you can actually push that back as well if you go to polygon. And this time, we'll just grow it to right about there and go ahead and push that in. And so now what you've got is something that's not sticking out quite so far. And you get something like that. So just play around with the, you can add different little buttons on here if you want to. You could create new geometry and stick it in there if you'd like to do that as well. Alright, so let's go ahead and turn off our smoothing. If you want to sharpen up the sides of this, we can go ahead and select these polygons on these sides and go ahead and inset those just slightly. And that'll give us a little bit more sharpness coming around that side there. We'll do the same thing over here. Select this entire side, go ahead and hit an inset, and now when we smooth this, you should have kind of a little bit harder of an edge on that side, while still having the softness over on the front. So we exit isolation mode, and go ahead and select that guy. You can see that there we've got kind of a little component there. So feel free to use the different techniques and that we've learned to really quickly create some little components there. We're kind of leaving this bare, but feel free to fill it in if you want to do that. Okay, so in the next lesson, we're going to look at adding some overhead lights, and to do that, we'll use some more spline methods. So similar to what we did with the artwork over here, we're going to use those kind of similar techniques to build some kind of honeycomb-shaped lights above the couch. Embedded into the ceiling. So we'll look at how we can do that in the next lesson.